Rajni ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
only one parent has joined. So if possible, can you just send a message on that parent group telling them to join? Because it's almost 11 o'clock. Is it possible for you to do that? Just send a reminder on the group or something because I can see only two parents right now. Ma'am, were you able to send them a message?
Ma'am, already sent an MCB reminder.
Your voice is breaking.
Ma'am, already the message and it is been announced in the assembly that orientation
Correct.
program is being
Okay, so you don't have
there
a
on
where you can
Saturday.
just remind them.
So I need to inform in the office ma'am once again.
Okay,
And just
because
go
we
and
have
check.
just one parent, and we definitely
Yeah.
can't start if we have only one parent.
Yes, yes, I understand. I'll just go inform once again.
Okay, you're in school, is it?
Yeah, I'm school.
Okay, you just inform and let me know. Maybe we can wait for about 2-3 minutes more.
Okay, fine, sure. Done. Done. Done.
Tanuja, sorry for the delay. I hope you've had something to eat.
Yeah, I finished my breakfast just now.
Okay, great. Okay, we have just one parent online. I don't know why.
Okay.
We'll just wait for her to get back and then we'll start.
Okay, sure.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am, were you able to inform them? Rajni ma'am?
Ma'am.
Yeah. Ma'am, can you just make sure your internet connection is good because you'll have to start, no? So just,
Yeah.
yeah. So right now I can see 5 people.
I can see only 3.
Sorry, ma'am.
I can't see. I can see only 3.
You can see 3, is it? No, not here, on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, on
So
YouTube,
I'm just
5.
moving to the office room so that one more message it can be sent. Just
Correct.
give me 2 minutes, ma'am.
No problem. You just 2 minutes and then maybe we can start because if we delay, then these people will also, I mean, these parents will also leave. Ma'am, we only have about 6 or 7 parents, but it's already 11:10, so I don't want to delay further. Do you think we can begin?
Ma'am, I just informed them like
Okay.
a specific SMS being sent now to all
Okay.
the 5 grades. So I'm just going down. Just 1 minute now.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, you can begin, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Jayadevi. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Rajni, ma'am, can you turn on your camera, please? Your video? Yes. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Rajni. I welcome you all for today's session, Parent and Teacher Orientation. I am handling Saksham classes for this academic year, grade 1 to 5. Val-Ed initiatives build stronger and healthier characters in children, parents, educators, and adults through 21st century. Human values and life skills education programs and products designed and delivered by role models. Val-Ed designs and delivers customized character education solutions to individual groups and big groups ranging from tens to thousands through programs and products that are research oriented and relevant and effective. Val-Ed plays multiple roles, including curriculum designers, content creators, surveyors, and researchers, operational planners, program deliverers, assessment administrators, and impact auditors. Now, I will be handing the session over to Ms. Riddhi Pratham, Program Coordinator at Val-Ed Initiatives. Thank you all for being present today.
Thank you so much, Rajni ma'am, for that introduction. I welcome all the parents to the session today. I know it's a Saturday and you're maybe having a lot of other things, but we're just going to take about 45 minutes of your time to explain to you what Saksham actually does. So before we dive in, I would like to share my screen and share a video with all of you. So just give me a minute, please.
You require solving the problem, having the courage, having the curiosity to learn, having persistent follow-up, and most important is humility. It gives me a great pleasure to come to the school because normally we get lot of invitation. Our foundation gets 5,000 to 6,000 invitations in a year, but I choose the school where something is new. I would like to come and visit. Their idea, it really appealed to me. For a teaching family, a new idea, a good school means a lot.
Let me introduce you to Val-Ed Initiatives, an organization devoted to building stronger and healthier character in children, parents, and teachers. Dear parents, no one is born with character. Everyone takes the responsibility and builds it over a period of time through the choices, education, and the environment that they are in. Our education requires our children's hearts to be educated as well, and that's what we do. Through scientific and innovative methodology, we are leading a new brand of education which is helping raise happy, successful, and meaningful children who live lives of purpose. In short, children with character. Our organization has been working on this for the last 10 years. We work with millions of children, parents, and teachers across the country in 17 states. We bring the best of all these practices to your school today. I'm very, very happy to introduce to you Saksham, a program which is long-term, continuous, and devoted to the character development, values development, life skills development, and social-emotional learning development of your children. Do you remember when you were in school, you had a subject called moral science? Something which you and I didn't take very seriously. It was a graded subject. It was almost a free subject for some of us. But today as adults, we've realized if one has to be successful in life, our materialistic and technical knowledge can only take us so far. It's what's in here that really matters. So what makes Saksham so special? Let me give you 5 reasons why Saksham is a seismic improvement and an advancement over traditional moral science education. Number 1, the curriculum and the content that is covered in Saksham. We've taken modern evidence-based science of character development. An example is from child psychology, from counseling, social emotional learning. We took all of it together. We took fables and stories from different cultures. We mixed both of them up and we came up with something which is scientific, creative, fun, engaging, and time-tested. Number 2, our teaching methodology. After years of research, Saksham has developed an indigenous model of character education which is based on the 4 pillars of learning. experience, reflection, realization, and transformative action. With these four things coming together, you see that not only are children's learning interesting, but they are long lasting, and you will see an impact in real life in a very short duration amount of time. Number 3, project-based learning. Imagine your children doing fundraisers, renovating the school, doing an awareness campaign, doing a water drive, and so on and so forth. When they work with each other, when they work on causes, when they work over a long period of time, they get a real idea of how and why they can be successful in life. The fourth one, the Saksham Global Platform. As a parent and as a teacher, you will have the opportunity to see what children are learning in their classes on an every month basis. You will also have resources which helps and educates you to be better parents and better teachers to support their journey as well. Imagine the latest research, articles, parenting tips, teaching tips, all available to you at the tip of your fingertips on your phone at any time for you to be able to work on that. Number 5, assessment and measurement. By a process of baseline and end line, which means before, at the beginning of the year, we ask questions to understand where children stand and what they feel about their environment, their own personal capabilities, their capacities. We understand where they stand. And after a year-long work, we ask them those same questions again to understand how much they have progressed. You also, as parents and teachers, will be part of this process. When from a 360-degree angle, we understand the impact, we understand where we've reached, where we are yet to do a better work, and it becomes the foundation of our program in the coming years as well. That gives you the 5th competitive assessment and measurement based opportunity. Now that you've seen the advantage that Saksham gives all of you, I hope you are as excited as I am to join hands in this journey. Remember, when we all come together everyone achieves more. That's the abbreviation of the word team. As a parent, as a teacher, how can you be part of this journey in specifics? Here's the first one. Ensure that every week you spend some amount of time asking your children what happened in the Saksham class. Not only will your question help your children share, but even you will get educated. The second one, whenever you are invited for events of Saksham and Val-Ed initiatives, ensure that you are a part of it. And third, be part of assessments, be part of measurements so that you too are able to share what you've seen as an impact point and what you've seen as a feedback point. These 3 simple things can help us come together to make our children not only good children, but also wonderful human beings, great sons and daughters, wonderful model citizens, and if everything falls together, a wonderful human being. So, let's join our hands, let's ask as many questions as we want and take this program with all energy in all of our schools. Pranam, Jai Hind.
So thank you all for being patient and looking through the whole video. I hope the video gave you an insight about what the Saksham journey is. But for that, we have Ms. Tanuja today, who will be facilitating the session. And I will be handing it over to you now, Tanuja.
Thank you, Riddhi. Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Tanuja, you're audible.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I would like to welcome you all on this lovely Saturday morning. I am Tanuja, and being a mother to 2 lovely children and having worked as a software engineer for more than 10 years, when I quit and was actually looking for something interesting and purposeful to do, that is when I chanced upon Val-Ed initiatives, and it is their unique vision and methodology of making children strong in their character is what led to my association with Val-Ed for close to 3 years now. And I have to tell you, it has been an amazing journey of sharing and learning, and I have got to learn so much from teaching kids in different schools. Now, well, I would also like to say kudos to Pratham International School for joining hands with us, wherein they showcase that, they just don't believe in giving that career-based education to children, but they also believe in developing values in children, which will enable each and every child to, which will make them capable to build a beautiful and a purposeful, meaningful life for themselves. And so I would like to assure all the parents that it's a great decision that you've taken to enroll your children in a school which believes in these values, where they want to give that holistic education to all the children. Right now, we did see about values and life skills and what Val-Ed does. Right, and I'm sure all of you have been hearing of values and life skills more so in the recent years. Right? Yes, we did have value education as we were kids. We did have moral science as a subject, but you must have observed that the emphasis or focus on values and life skill has been more in the recent years. As I see, the reason for this is, what was earlier very, very clear demarcation between right and wrong. So there was a bright line of difference which showed what right and wrong somehow seems to be fading away in the recent years. Right? Where children, we ourselves sometimes get confused as to whether this is right, whether this is wrong. The very demarcation is getting, I would say, faded away. Right? And also, if you observe children of today, they're very, very different. Right? Like when I was growing up, I remember if my parents would say, you know what, you're not supposed to lie. Lying is not a good thing. That just one statement, I would say, okay, fine, from tomorrow I'll not lie. Right? But children of today, they need reasoning for everything. They need to be convinced that this is the right thing to do. They will not follow things blindly just because someone asks them to do. Now, is that a bad thing? No, that is in fact a great way to approach life. I think that is a learning that I take from children of this generation, right? Where they want themselves to take decisions. Right? But then it becomes difficult now when we want to imbibe and inculcate for them to inculcate values. So what we need to do, we need to change our approach, the way we are trying to imbibe values in children by making them think, by making them analyze, and by making them relate to different experiences, which will build conviction in them so that they choose the right path. They do not follow just because somebody said, but they themselves choose to go on the right path. Right? So that is what Val-Ed Initiatives believes in, right? To bring this transformation in the children, to build that conviction in children that they themselves, from their heart, they want to follow the right path. Right? Now, why do we call it as 21st century? When we say we are trying to imbibe 21st century values and life skills, right? So why do we say 21st century? So let me give you an example. So you must have heard a lot of people talking about self-love, right? So that is something that is so beautiful. It's so important that you need to care for yourself as well, right? But then the way the media portrays it, the way it shows, instead of building on self-love, being as self-confidence, self-esteem, and standing up for yourself, this value is being manipulated and put into children's heart as being self-centered and selfish. So you see the difference of how self-love is getting its crooked way into children's heart by transforming itself into being self-centered and selfish. So this is an alarm bell, right? So this is why all of us here, teachers, parents, and family members, need to come together so that we imbibe values in the right perspective. It is because children are influenced. There are, gateways to get influence from every different angle. So which is why we need to come together as a team so that we put in the right values at the right time. Right. So now, as I said, to bring about a change in children, all the stakeholders need to be on the same team. Right. Once we all get into the same page, that is when we can have the impact. So we just have a small, simple model that has worked in the past about how each of us can contribute to the value development in a child. Right. So let me share my screen with you. These are just few things that each of us can do to help make our child a beautiful journey for themselves, which is what are the 4 things that teachers can do, right? So we all know that we have these Saksham classes wherein a particular value is being taught in a week, right? So how would it be if every other teacher, every other subject teacher will try to imbibe this value, somehow try to include this value that is being taught in their own subject? So that is value-based education, right? So for example, if you want to show, if it is about teamwork or it's about sharing is the value that is being taught in the Saksham class, how about including that in your math problem, right? When you are saying that for some work to be done, the problem statements are a great way where you can put in these values. Because a child, when he or she sees that the same value is being, shown from all different angles, he will be more convinced that, yes, this is the right thing to do, right? Or you in science or social, you can take examples from history to show how people have been kind in the past and how it has helped them, right? So it is very important that all the teachers are very much aware of what is the value being taught to the children so that they can include these values and try to portray it in their own subjects. And Val-Ed conducts events every 3 months, which is a great platform for parents, teachers, and children to come together and participate in the events, share with each other, get to know about the concerns of other parents, other children, and the events are designed in such a way that it makes you realize a lot of things based on the values that are being taught in the class, right? And also imagine having a scream-free class. I'm sure this is a dream of every educator. And yes, this is possible. While it may seem impossible, it is possible by following value-based education practices, right? Where you give that assurance to the child that, yes, you are being listened to. Usually it's the teacher, the children feel that, okay, in the class, we just need to listen to teacher, whatever she's saying. But if the teacher can make that assurance to the child, yes, whatever is your concern, whatever are your questions, you are being listened to, children will automatically follow to be a scream-free class. Like you can give them constructive feedback and you can follow inquiry-based listening. These are some of the techniques which will help every educator, to follow a value-based education practice. Now, what are the 6 things that the parents can do? Sorry. Yeah, so what are the 6 things that children need to do, right? So one thing that I want to bring a point here is, let's not consider, we all know that values are so important, right? So that particular class that we have in a week, please do not give in the idea to the children that this can be used to do some incomplete work or this can be used to do something else, because this class especially is meant for themselves, right? And also, all children are given Saksham book or a journal where they can write as the educator is teaching about the values, or if they experience something during the week about a particular value, encourage them to put down those, whatever is their thoughts in the Saksham book. And the point where we differentiate ourselves being part of Val-Ed initiatives is where we just don't believe in giving the experience to the child about a value, right? We also go a step further, wherein we want to bring this transformation in a child. Now the child knows what to do, but will he do it or not, right? All of us know, yes, this is right, this is wrong, but do we do it or not? That is what is the differentiate point. So we give something called a call to action, which is called CTA, which is given by the teacher, which gives them an opportunity to implement the value and see for themselves as to how enriching it would be to practice that value in their life. And also, please, children definitely have to be part of assessments, because assessments is what lets us know if we are on the right path and we are making the right difference in a child. And for children above grade 4, we also have project-based learning, where they get to work on real life projects, like it could be a campaigning for something, or it could be a donation drive. It could be anything wherein they feel or they can see for themselves that they are making a contribution to change something in the society, right? And event is something that is going to be fruitful only with the participation of parents, teachers, and children, right? And it is a great platform for you to have some fun, meet with fellow parents, meet with your teachers, and all of you on a single platform can, make you realize so many things about values, about your children, right? So what are the 5 things for parents to do, right? Parents, please ensure that do check with them every week as to what is being taught, what did they learn, how did they feel about the session, right? This not only gives an opportunity for you to understand, but also, allows you to share your own experience, your life experience. It's an opportunity, right? When children learn, when children get to hear the experiences from their own parents, the impact it has is on a different level completely, right? And also there is a parents corner that you have in the Saksham books. I would request each of the parents to, it will not take you much time to just fill out that corner for children to refer back, right? And definitely you need to attend the events. I'm sure you attend one event, you will be looking forward for the next event. You just have to make that attempt to make one event for yourself to see how fruitful these events are, right? And please be part of all the assessments and measures. Please help your child understand, how well they have changed, or what has worked, what has not worked, right? And also we provide monthly updates of what's happening in Saksham classes through the platform as well. So please check the Saksham platform and keep yourself updated on what's being taught, so that you can contribute in your own way to enhance the understanding of value for your children, right? So that is the plan of action that we have for all the stakeholders here, right? Now, why do you think values, what is the need for values to be taught in a class, right? Let me give you an example. Like I have son who's in 6th grade. Not long ago, while I was working, he always used to come home and always keep his room in a mess. He would just throw away things, right? In spite of me trying to tell him, trying to make him understand that, I work and it really becomes tiresome for me to clean his room every day. And if he could just spare 5 minutes to keep things at its own place, it would be such great help for me. In spite of me telling repeated times in different ways, he would not bother to, keep things at his place. And it was always very tiring. So one day when I returned from office, I was shocked to see that his room was, sparklingly clean, very, very tidy. And I was so shocked. So he had gone out to play. So once he came back, I asked him, what happened? How come you cleaned the room? So he just told me that, there was something in school today. There was an event in school, and we all got to write, what are the different small ways in which we help our parents. And when I saw that, every other, all his friends had something, he didn't have anything to write, basically, right? And he saw that his friends had written things about how they helped their parents in small little ways. And also the teacher happened to told him a story about a parent and how much they work hard and what do they think about. He said that, I felt that maybe, I should help you a little bit, right? You see, when I told him so many times, it did not, it just probably went into 1 year and made an emergency exit from the other year, right? But when he was in an event, when he saw his friends around and when he gave it a little thought, he cleaned the room all by himself, right? Which is very important that, values are taught in such a conducive atmosphere, where it gives them that space and time to explore and think and relate for themselves, right? Which is why we have, have developed a curriculum with careful consideration with the management at Pratham school for coming up with values which are suited for their age, like which we believe have to be the values that needs to be imbibed for the children, right? And remember that, values are not something like, okay, today I teach about honesty, from tomorrow the child is going to become honest. It's not going to happen that way, right? It is something that needs to be developed. It's something that we need to build on week by week, year by year, so that for the transformation for a value to become a character in a child is a journey in itself, right? Which is why through our curriculum, we try to develop this concept and try to build upon the values, making them stronger and deeper in the child. So let me take you through the curriculum that we have planned for your children, which is, all right, so this is what plan that we have for grade 1, which is, so the values that we are focusing on are honesty, right? If you think about, for you to be honest, all the values are actually related, right? So we teach values for honesty. It's very important that we develop courage also in children, right? Because the consequences of being honest is not always very easy, right? So you see, the values are all connected. And we also try to teach them about how important or how to work in a team, right? It may be, so all these values, if you see, these are things that we work upon even now, right? So we try to bring in the values at their age, as with relevance at their age, right? Usually they give projects that 2 of them need to do. So how do they work in team? How do they share ideas? Sometimes maybe they want to do it all by themselves. Like, it's my idea, I want to do it, right? How do they accommodate, give that space so that both of them work on it, right? How do they divide the work? So there are a lot of things in teamwork. We are trying to sow the seeds at a very early level so that they can build upon this value. And for each of this, for teamwork, it's very important. Planning is something is really, really important, right? Only when we know how to plan things right, that is when things will work, right? So planning could be anything. It could be how they plan their day, or how they plan to do a specific work given by the teacher, or how do they plan to have fun. Even that needs to be planned, and they will get to see that when you have planned, how things work out, and how things work out when you just go completely without any plan, right? Along with that, life skills that we try to bring in is, we allow them to, learn how to arrange their cupboard, and also teach them in a fun way that if they can go creative in how they arrange their clothes, how they arrange their toys, how fun it would be when they don't have to, search everywhere around to find something that they want, right? And students will also be able to follow instructions and rules when they are in different public settings, right? Like, how are they supposed to behave, which caters to discipline part of the value, right? Which is how are they supposed to behave in a school, mall, in a park, different settings, different public settings. Moving on, for grade 2, again, we build on the value of honesty, and we also build on a very important value, which is punctuality, right? That is being on time. When we talk about punctuality, we also try to bring in the concept of respect. Now, how punctuality and respect are related, right? Punctuality means you respect your time and you respect the other person's time also, right? So while teaching this value, we also allow them themselves. So they will realize for themselves. So this is not what the idea that we given. Through our stories, through our videos, through the different activities they do, they know the importance of punctuality. And again, the teamwork value, the value of teamwork and how they can work in a team and the importance of teamwork and how, that they need to respect people. They don't have to agree to everyone, but respecting others' opinions, respecting others for their experience, right? That is what we try to teach. And most importantly, we show that respect is not just by folding hands. That's a way to show respect, but you should have respect in your heart as well, right? And the life skills that we teach is we try to introduce to them how practicing meditation, how allowing them to calm themselves, to be able to think in a calmer way, the brain exercises and breathing exercises will help them to understand themselves better. In order to understand others, first you need to understand yourself. And in order to build values, it's very important that you know yourself first. You know how you will respond to certain situations, right? And also we try to teach them how to be confident while working in front of a group. Basically, the basics of public speaking is what we try to build at this age group. Now for grade 3, the values that we concentrate again is on respect. And around grade 3, we see that students are so much into winning something, right? And because of that, at least the incidents that I hear where children or even elders go to any lengths of doing harm to the other person just because they couldn't win something, right? So it is an important skill that needs to be built, the value of sportsmanship, right? And also the value of leadership, how they can take initiatives, right? And how they can develop being a leader. And for that, obviously, it comes with your value of being responsible. See the way the two is connected. If you're not responsible, obviously, you cannot become a good leader, right? So we try to put in the value of responsibility. And also, to be a leader, kindness is also a very important value, right? We cannot say that we're going to make them dictators, right? If it's a dictator, being a leader, you just put things on people where you have to follow this, right? But if you want a team, or if you want to be a leader where you are looked upon as a leader, you need to act with kindness, right? And the life skill that we are going to focus on is a very valuable one, where they will be able to understand all the natural methods of providing first aid with materials available in the house, right? This is something that comes really handy, that they should know how to give first aid because they're always playing and getting into some kind of problem, right? Imagine how if they can heal themselves up before even showing you up what happened, right? So for grade 4, we again build on a very important value, which is trust. Yeah, why trust is important, how to build trust, right? And also a beautiful value, which is gratitude, right? Only when you're thankful, I'm sure all of you realize this, only when you're thankful of things that you have, because definitely nobody in this world has everything, right? There are things which we have, there are things which we don't have. What we focus on, most of the times we focus on things that we don't have, right? So we try to bring in that value for children where you're thankful for things that you have, which in itself brings in such a positive emotion, which motivates you, which inspires you to do greater things in life, right? Again, for all that to happen, mindfulness is a very important value, which is to let you know, to be aware of yourself, to understand yourself, your emotions, your feelings. It's basically a window to know about yourself, right? Now, the life skill, the most important life skill, or I would say one of the important life skill, is to time management, right? We all have 24 hours, but how we can manage the time to complete our task. This is what is taught for grade 4, and for grade 5, again, we build upon the same values. We build it deeper, right? For grade 5, we build these values deeper, values like punctuality and understanding behavior, right? This is so important for you to have any relation, to maintain your relationship, in order to, work on different things, for teamwork, for being a leader, for everything. It's very important that you understand your behavior and you understand others' behavior as well, right? And the value of money. It's very important that children know the value of things, right? Don't you think it's different to know the price of things and value of things, right? So we try to bring in that concept where children are made to think and understand value of money, right? And the life skill is the students will learn and practice, how important it is for wrapping school books, right? Or, it's always that when you give a gift, so many times we are so thrilled looking at the wrapper, right? It shows how much of love and care that the person has taken in wrapping the gift, right? So we try to teach them how to wrap the gifts using, sustainable and environmental friendly ways. So we bring in the value of how you care for the environment, how you care for your friends, and how you care for their emotions through this life skill. So with that, I hope it gives you an understanding of the values and, the curriculum that we have in place for your children this year, right? With that, now that is the curriculum that we have. So we would also like to know what, according to you, according to the parents, what do you think are the most important values and life skills that you want to see in your children? Right now, I would request Riddhi to share a Google form with you.
Yes, Sanuja, just give me 2 minutes.
So she will be sharing a Google form on the chat window. It is just a simple Google form which will ask you to, give us 3. You have to choose the 3 most important values and life skills that you feel is important that your children imbibe at this age. So it should not take you more than 3 minutes at the max. So for you just have to choose the grade of your child and just choose the 3 most important values and life skills that you feel is right for the child, right? So that way it gives us a window to see if we are matching, if what we are thinking for your children and what you have in your mind, is that matching. So I will give you probably 2 or 3 minutes to take that time and just fill out that Google form. So Riddhi, have you pasted it on the chat window?
Sanuja, I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I request all the parents to just kindly click on the link that is on the chat window. And it's a simple questionnaire where you just have to choose the most important values and the most important life skills that you would like your children to imbibe at this age.
Tanuja, we have an interesting question on the chat. So I'm just going to read it out. So one parent wants to know how we can improve the child's concentration nowadays. So do you have any suggestion for this?
Concentration can be improved. I think basically I think the children do not have the concentration because you need to find out the reason why they don't have the concentration. It's because either the activity is not interesting, it is something that they don't believe is the thing for them, right? If you might have observed, right, I'm sure they will not show focus on things that you feel is important, but if it is something that is interesting for them, they show complete concentration, right? So if the children are somehow if they can be convinced that it's something interesting for them, if it is shown in an interesting way, I'm sure the children will have the concentration. And also these meditation, right, these brain exercises, these help children in a long way, right? Because there are so many thoughts. Why children don't concentrate? Because they are constantly in some other world, and they're constantly thinking. There are so many thoughts going on in their mind, right? They don't live in the present moment. Probably they're thinking of, what do I do? If you give them an activity, what do I do after this? What do I eat after this? Or how do I play? Where do I go, right? So there are so many thoughts. So meditation is definitely one of the ways which can help them, control their thoughts, calm their minds. And then, as I said, it's just that they need to be made aware of how important a particular task is, right? And probably another way is, that we try to do it in our classes is to show them, how when you don't focus on things, there are some activities and there are some games actually which we have in our curriculum, which shows to them that how even when you think you're focusing, sometimes when you don't focus on things, how is it that you lose out either learning something? How is it that you actually miss out so many things in life just because you were not able to focus? On the other way, when you are able to focus, how much you can achieve, right? From real life examples, we take stories from real world personalities who have this ability because of which they have been successful, right? So by sharing all this also gives them that input that, okay, that if I focus, if I concentrate, this is what I'll get, right? If they have this basic understanding, then I think meditation and other exercises will also help them to calm down their thoughts, and and that should help them.
Great. Thank you, Tanuja. We only have about 5 responses until now, so requesting the parents to please fill up the form so we can proceed. In the meantime, Tanuja, would you like to just take them through the story, and then maybe we can continue with this?
All right. So I have a very interesting story for you. So a woman lying on her deathbed with only few hours left for her to live in an old age home, all right, where she was left by her son a few years back, after which he had never tried to contact his mother, or he had never tried to return any calls that she made, right? The time that she was, as I said, she had just 3 or 4 hours to live. That is when she asked the people of old age home that she wants to meet her son one last time, right? So when the son gets the call from the old age home saying this is the condition of his mother, the son does come down to the old age home. And as he sees mother there with a lot of tears welling up in his eyes, he holds his mother's arm, his palm in his palm, and he asks, "Mother, what is it that you want me to do? Is there anything that I can do for you in this last few hours of your journey of life?" And his mother says, "Son, the fans are not working. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So can you please get it repaired?" And then she also says, the refrigerator in this old age home doesn't work properly, right? Sometimes when things are kept, when I try to eat it the next day, the food would have become stale. So can you please get a new refrigerator for this old age home? And the son is really surprised. And he asks his mother, "Mother, you just have 2 or 3 hours left in your life, and you ask me such things. Why would you ask me to repair a fan and repair a refrigerator which you might not use at all? To which his mother replies, son, I have had to live a very difficult life here, right? With fan not working, with having to eat stale food sometimes. I somehow was able to manage, but I am worried that you might not be able to manage the life that probably you will get in a few years now. Right? You see, even the mother is in her deathbed, and all she's trying to think is, oh my God, will my son be able to bear the same difficulties? What do I do so that when he probably comes here in future, he doesn't have to face this, right? So parents are so much about, giving the children everything that they want, right? Beyond their capabilities. But in that, we parents are forgetting something. We are so much into, giving them all the luxury, keeping them safe, we don't want them to struggle, that we are forgetting to teach them to give. Right? We are only teaching them to receive. We give and give and give and shower so much love to them, and they're always receiving. But in this circle, what we are forgetting is we need to teach them to give. We shouldn't be taking them away from the experiences of life. It is the experience of life that actually teaches them values, right? It is what makes them strong. Because sometimes you see, you don't want your child to struggle. Oh my God, I have struggled so much in life, so I don't want my child to struggle. But we forget the point that struggle is what makes the person strong. I'm not saying that, okay, I went through so much, so I will make my child to go through. But I'm saying that don't take away that experience from a child, right? Probably if your son or your daughter is struggling to do something, allow them to do it by themselves, right? By not allowing them, you probably think that you're helping your child, but you're not going to be there all their life to be helping them all the while, right? There is some time that they have to live by themselves. It is very important not just to give them what they want, but it's very important how you have taught them to live a life by themselves, what they can do for themselves. And I'm sure all of you agree that the joy of giving is way more than joy of receiving, right? So I request all parents that I'm not saying be hard on a child, right? Obviously, you want to shower your life, but don't take away that beauty that life wants to offer to your child, right? Just let them experience. It's okay. There is so much of gain in pain. You've heard that, right? So let them, small little pains, let them go through that. That is what is going to make them strong. That is what is going to build the character. Right? So just a small thought that I want you to hold on to. If you have observed all the great people, all the successful people, right, whom we have seen in our lives, when you actually look down their childhood, they are people who've come down from nothing, right? Usually, it's very rare you see that, okay, people who have had a very wonderful childhood, or, who have no problems in life, you rarely get to see those people blossom. Why? Because it is these challenges in life that they go through. They challenge themselves, they push themselves. Why? Because they have a motivation, they have a reason. They want themselves to get out of the situation. Right? So always remember that it is important that it is not what we have left for children when we go. Right? It is the values that we have left in our child's heart when we go is what is important. Right? With that, let me check if we do have responses from parents. Riddhi, should I go ahead with the responses or should we wait?
Well, I'm just checking.
Okay.
Before that, maybe just one last question we can address. So another parent's worry is that the children are always distracted because they're always on the phone. maybe playing video games or, just doing something. So any quick suggestion from your end? And if you were in the situation, how would you face it?
So one thing is, yes, that they are somehow made aware of, either through, how they discuss in class, as to what is it they're losing out by, by being on social media all the time, right? And also one thing which has worked for me is, after you're made aware of them, like I usually tell my son that, okay, you do a timetable, you only decide. So you need to be really firm on that, okay, you get to see. Now you cannot say that, okay, do not look at mobile at all, or do not play games at all, right? So I usually ask him to have a timetable for himself where he writes, okay, how much time I'm going to spend each day. So usually what I do is, like, games is only on weekends, right? Games is only on weekends, and every day I tell that, okay, you can watch for half an hour. Or probably if you want to start off, maybe if you're seeing their mobile for 3 hours, you can't just bring it down to half an hour, right? So maybe I just tell him that, okay, you can see for 1 hour, and then you decide as to the time that you have. But then I also tell him that, okay, that there are other things that you need to do as well. So you need to have a timetable, you need to put in time for all these tasks, right? Once he finishes the task, then he can go and watch or see the mobile, right? And also another ways why children are hooked on to social media is because either that they don't have any other interesting activity, right? It could be one of the another ways is to get involved or put them into something that is interesting, put them into some classes, right, where they have that also involves probably finding out what their interest is, right? Involve them in a lot of activities, see to it that they are involved in something which is off screen, right? Try not to put them into online classes, because again, you are exposing them to social media. So try to include them in some offline activity of their own interest, right? I think that would help. And also making them responsible, giving them that, okay, you are responsible, you decide things. Or probably you can also pitch in, okay, as parents, I'm sure all of us also have to contribute a little to that, where we are also, browsing mobile, looking into mobiles. They look at us also, right? So you tell them, okay, both of us will come up with a plan where both of us will say, okay, from today only 1 hour, right? When the parent sees that, even when the child sees, even the parent is also trying to make that a habit, where the parent is also saying, okay, these times I'm not going to watch mobile, right? So then, because when you have a buddy for any plan, it just is so inspiring and motivating, and allows you to continue to be on that plan. Just try any of these, and I'm sure one of it will work out for you. I hope that does help you, that does give you some insight into how you could probably find a solution to that. Maybe not a solution, but maybe better than, the state can be better than what is it now.
Perfect, Anuja. Thank you so much for that. We have about 14 responses, so you can definitely go ahead.
Okay, all right. So going through the responses, the top 3 values that grade 1 parents have chosen is honesty, and then almost we have same ranking for the other values as well, but we have honesty, respect, and courage, which they feel is very important. And the top 3 life skills are time management and problem solving. Yes, that's a very important life skill. Moving on, for grade 2, honesty is like very, very important, is what most of the parents have chosen. And they've also chosen courage and love as well as the important values. And the life skill that I see is, yes, again, time management. And I see communication being considered as very important. And we also have active listening as an important value that they would like to see, important life skill that they would like to see in grade 2 children. And then grade 3, we have honesty. Honesty is topping all the charts. Yeah, so honesty, respect and cooperation, as they see as very important values. And life skills being, again, active listening, time management, and yes, financial literacy. Right? That's absolutely very important. They know the value of money, right? And for grade 4, I see that parents have chosen, again, honesty, courage, and trustworthiness. And even discipline is there on that, which they feel is the other important values. And the life skills, again, time management, and they've seen communication. They feel communication, time management, and active listening as the important life skill. Grade 5, again, honesty, as I said, is rocking all the charts, right? Honesty, respect, and empathy, right, as the top 3 values. And the life skills being financial literacy is very important, because they are growing up, they need to know the value of money, time management, and problem solving. Yeah. So thank you so much for those responses. That gives us an idea that we are on the right path. And before closing, I would definitely say that we are hitting the nail at the right time. I mean, like in Kannada, there's a saying, Gidavagi baggadu maravagi baggite, right? So we need to hit the hammer at the right time. And I think as a team today, we're doing great that we are trying to hit it at the right time. And I hope that we do make the progress, we do make the changes that we want to see in order to make our children saksham, which actually means capable. Saksham is a Sanskrit word. So let's hope that this journey as a team, from today, we take the pledge to make our children saksham of carving out a beautiful, purposeful, and meaningful life for themselves. Right? With that, thank you so much, all parents, all teachers, and children, if any, who have made time on this Saturday morning, and have a great day. And now I hand it over to Riddhi.
Thank you so much for that very lovely session, Tanuja. And with this, I would like to request Ms. Rajni to conclude the session.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable words. Definitely, these life skills help our students to build their character and be successful in their life. Once again, I thank one and all for your time and attention today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jayadevi ma'am, for being a part of the entire session. It was really a good support to see you around. And thank you so much to all the parents for being present today. Have a lovely weekend, and hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much.